Hey Jews, I just want to look into reality with you, okay? Because I feel like a lot of people at this point just don't want to accept the truth. I spoke with somebody the other day who could see where I was going with what I was trying to say about reality, about anti-Semitism, about the state of Israel, about Independence Day, about Passover, about October 7th, about the Holocaust. Okay, yes, okay, makes sense. Yes, she also knows some Torah, so she's like, okay. But the one thing she's just not willing to listen to, and she says herself, I'm just not willing to go there. Okay, and I heard this also a lot during COVID. Up until a certain point, people were like, something strange, something doesn't, wait, no, whatever, this is different, this is not how things normally are, not how things are supposed to be. What about our free choice? What about all the other things, okay? But at the end of the day, you don't want to go to the ultimate truth, which is that it was planned and it was directed and it was for a purpose, okay, as were all of the other things, like the BLM thing, like the Antifa thing, like all these things. But you can see that, and you yourself maybe have never trusted the government, never always knew the thing that the scariest thing to hear is that we're here to help you. We're from the government. We're here to help you. Yikes. Okay, but now when it really comes down to it, you're not willing to accept that that is actually what is happening. Just like probably in the 1930s and 40s, in the Holocaust, pre-Holocaust, they didn't want to accept that it was going into that direction. They didn't want to accept that in the most civilized country of Germany, okay, not that uncivilized, like peasant backwater, whatever other countries, uneducated masses that just randomly hated the Jews. It was the civilized people, the people that the Jews were very, very mixed in with all the culture. Okay, so they didn't want to accept the fact at any point that they could leave Germany, that they should leave Germany or the surrounding areas, that things were getting bad. Then now we're just going to go to the ghettos and it will be okay. And after the ghettos, we'll go back home. Things are just a little bit weird, but they're going to get better. It's going to go back to normal. And then they didn't, and then they didn't, and then they didn't, all the way to the showers. In the cattle cars, I'm sure they were like, look, we're just going to go and, do our part for the war effort and go to work camps or whatever. What's my point? The point that there always seems to be, you're willing to understand your reality clearly and honestly up until a certain point in which then you are not willing to do that. And I am saying, be brave, Jews. Be brave and challenge your reality. You have to go beyond that point that you do not want to go before it gets worse and worse and worse. It is the year 2024, which in the Jewish calendar is 5,784, and this is important for many, many reasons, okay? So it's 2024, let's say, in your reality. Okay, did you ever think in your life that the anti-Semitism, the level of anti-Semitism, would ever get to the crazy proportion that it is now? Could you understand now how people were always like, we always think we're smarter than the previous generation. But the opposite is true. They were smarter than us, you guys, because look at the new generation coming on the scene now. Do you think that they are smart? Do you think that they are smarter than you? That's how we felt, us ego-driven egomaniacs, who we think we know better. We're going to change the world. We're going to make the world better than our ancestors. Look at we don't know our history even properly at all, okay? Because the history is recorded in the Torah, okay? Especially the Jews need to know this, okay? Because there is a big lie, two huge big lies that you don't want to accept. You don't want to accept that there is no nation of Israel without the Torah. We became a nation because we got the Torah. That is the holiday of Passover, which we just finished celebrating, just finished noting, just finished reading the story, so we'll never forget. Never forget, never again. So you are willing to accept now, because you have to accept that things are not what you thought they would be, because we said never again. And we have the very, very mighty IDF. We have the very mighty state of Israel. We've ensured for ourselves our spot at the table with our interest groups and with our, with our, how do you call it? Lobbyists. There you go. Okay, so we've ensured that everything's going to be fine for us. There's never going to be another Holocaust, because we have set for ourselves, we've become our own gods, and we have taken care of it. We've redeemed ourselves. Congratulations to the Jews, which finally have no master. We're not the slaves of the other nations. We're not subjected to their anti-Semitism, their Holocaust, their pogroms, their expulsions, the Inquisitions. We are free from that, and free from God also, and therefore we don't need the Torah. We are just Jewish. What are we? We're Israelis. That's what we are. We're Israelis, okay? You've probably never cared about the Independence Day of the State of Israel until this year. Jews living outside of Israel. And Jews inside of Israel will stop everything, even counting the Omer. Bitch, who counts that anymore? Because we're a people without the Torah. We don't have the Torah laws in the state of Israel, okay? So now you are going to celebrate that fact that the Jews have not been redeemed, just like you finished reading in the Haggadah of Passover, that we're supposed to be redeemed. And you think it's okay to be a Jew without the Torah, just like the Israelis are. We're in the land of Israel, saved ourselves, don't need God, don't need anyone. We have the IDF. Okay, but did we have the IDF? I mean, weren't all those wars that have happened since 1948 just miracles anyway? Can you explain them? Can anyone explain them? Does it ever make sense? Let's look at Entebbe again, guys. Let's look at the legend of Entebbe real well. Okay, because now we know the game plan of the other side is false flags. It's all a bunch of distractions. It's all a bunch of fake protests and fake everything that starts out just brainwashing the dumber new generation with huger egos. They think that they're going to fix the world. They think everyone got it wrong. The Hamas are the heroes and the victims at the same time. Okay, all of the people of Gaza that are born into a system of hate, they have no chance even. They have no chance at almost seeing reality. Anyone who has gotten out of that brainwashing system, it's just crazy and a miracle. Okay, just like we're all brainwashed to a certain extent, if you don't keep yourself free by learning what's in the Torah, keeping separate and being the holy nation of Israel. So you don't want to accept that, okay? You want to think that Reform Judaism is legitimate. Secular Judaism is legitimate. That not believing in God and not learning the Torah, not keeping Shabbat, especially, not keeping kosher, not keeping family purity, not being modest, not being any of these extremely important things as a Jew, which keeps you connected to God and connected to the nation of Israel, connected to the Torah, okay, which will show you reality clearly. And we can learn from our history, because our history as a nation is beyond explanation. In every generation, they rise up to annihilate us. And in every generation, they are unable to do so. We know our history. It's written in the Torah. Okay? And we have all the actual history of our nation from all of the Chachamim, all of the rabbis and the sages that came before us, that they write their books throughout time that is explaining this and saying this is now what's happening in our world. Okay? So we know the true history. This history is fake. Okay, in the year 2024, when by the way, the timeline has been manipulated. Okay, so you don't really know what year it is. unless you know that it is the year 5,784 from creation. And you know that from the reality that was explained to us in the Torah, it's 5-dimensional, 3 physical, 1 spiritual, and 1 is time. And we know that this time has an end date, okay? Where's this going in non-Judaism reality, in your secular life? To what end? Are we just going to keep evolving? I mean, look how well we're revolving, and I'm like this. I'm being sarcastic. Okay, if we're evolving, if we're the pinnacle of random evolution, and we keep getting smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter, how come things are getting worse and worse and worse and worse? That doesn't make any sense. So, are we the creators? Are we the designers? Are we the masterminds? Are we our own gods? Or do we have a creator, and we've actually just devolved this whole time down into chaos, down into lawlessness, down into lies and distortions and just the most disgusting. I mean, now at least even at one time, even over here, you know, if there was a whisper of some impropriety in the White House, wow, that was a big scandal. Make him resign. Now it's just like, oh yeah, and then this happened there, and then there was cocaine, and then there was everything that's happening, and it's just like not fazing anyone, okay? And there's so many distractions at this point. How are you supposed to know what's true? And by the way, in this system, everybody's truth is legitimate. Okay, so, and because the ultimate goal here is just money and whatever, total freedom from any sorts of morality, okay, that you can be bought and sold very easily over here. Okay, so the big lies that you don't want to accept, okay, that's very hard for you, and it's okay. It is cognitive dissonance, but it is necessary for you to stop the pre-Holocaust situation right now. We have to get off the game here. We have to get off the revolving door of anti-Semitism and understand what it is. It's to wake you up, Jew. You are a Jew. You are a Jew, and you belong to the nation of Israel. And there is no, so the first lie that you must accept, please, is that there is no other Judaism other than a Torah observant Jew. To whatever degree, okay? So minimum keeping Shabbat. They say, actually, our Chachamim and our guidebook, that if all of Israel would just keep one Shabbat, we would be redeemed. Okay, so you want all this chaos to stop? Keep one Shabbat. That's it. That's all it would take. So we're so stubborn, we think we know better, but we don't. We really don't know better. Okay, so the other lie that you do not want to accept is the state of Israel. That it's illegitimate here in the land of Israel. And it just like we want to say, free Palestine from Hamas, free the Jews from Zionism. Free the Jews from the state of Israel. We don't need or want a state that is anti-Torah laws, okay? Because the state of Israel, and you need to go look this up, the state of Israel is one of the 19 centers of the WEF's, okay, fourth industrial revolution. Okay, look that up. Go just Google it. Fourth industrial revolution, the 19 centers. Okay, one of them is the state of Israel. Okay, so look at what that means. Okay, and understand everything that's happening in that context. They are a part of the New World Order system. New World Order system. Okay, so why do you think that the IDF failed, let's just say failed on October 7th. Okay, so the idea isn't that now you go, it's not or this or that. So just because everyone is pro-Hamas and pro-Palestinian doesn't mean you need now to be pro-state of Israel. Do you understand? You need to be a part of the nation of Israel, which says we don't need this. We need God. We need the Torah laws. We need the kingdom of David, and we need the temple. That's what the Jews need, because at the end of time, right, we said that it's the year 5784 from creation. At the end, we know that there's an end time, and the end time is getting close. Okay, so this whole reality is likened to a week. We know what a week looks like. We have 7 days. And we know what our weeks look like, okay? Our week, we have every week Shabbat. Okay, and Shabbat is supposed to be like a taste of the eternal world that is after this reality runs out. When the time ends here, there's going to be something else. Okay, so this was the days to work, just like during your days of the week. You have 6 days to work. Okay, and on the 7th day, it's Shabbat, and we rest. That's going to be like how it's going to be in the next world. So we're learning that, we're practicing that, and we're acclimating ourselves for the eventuality of that. Okay, so you have to actualize yourself. You have to put yourself on some sort of vibrational resonance with this frequency of this spiritual aspect of our reality. 3 physical, 1 spiritual, and 1 is time. When the time ends, the physical will also end, and we will only be spiritual. And you are getting in tune with that aspect of reality in order to continue on. Your soul has, let's just imagine it like a frequency, okay? So you need to tune yourself in, and that's what you do on the 7th day. So just like there's 7 days of the week, the 7th is the Sabbath, and the 6th is like hopefully a half day. I mean, the earlier you can stop your work and prepare for Shabbat and relax before Shabbat so that it's pleasant, the better off you are, and the more virtuous you are, I guess, or the more emeritus you are. Okay, so we out of consciousness, we also want God then to think about how we take care of the Shabbat so beautifully, with so much love and so much effort, that he'll also remember us, because we're told, remember, tizkor v'lishmor, remember and keep. So we want God to remember us. Okay, we say that every day. Remember us, God. It's like he's forgotten us because he doesn't recognize us. He wants to save the holy nation of Israel, but he can't recognize us. And he looks down, let's just say, looks around and says, this is a small number of people I'm going to be saving if I'm coming right now. Okay, so we want him to, so just like we said when the Shabbat comes in, okay, so it's like these are the millennium, okay, and we're here, we said, 5,784, okay, so it's like very close to 6, just like if let's just say Shabbat came in at 6 o'clock at night, okay? So ideally, we would be lighting the candles like as soon as possible, the very first moment you can, which is, you know, up to, I don't even know, like a half an hour before, something like that, 40 minutes before, something. You want to be ready. And before that, not even past the halfway of the day, you're supposed to be ready already. Like, stop doing any work for anything. Just rest, relax, have a shower, you know, pick out your nice clothes, take a breather, take a little nap, get ready for Shabbat. And that's what we want God to remember us early. Don't wait until actually 216 more years to redeem us. Redeem us early, please. That's what we want. Okay, but if you're not keeping Shabbat, you're not keeping kosher, you think that there's such a thing as a non-religious Jew, okay, that's gonna be difficult to get you redeemed, maybe, in a good way, in a nice way. Okay, so you have some personal responsibility here, and part of the problem is that they are distracting you on so many levels, and part of the problem is that you're not just detaching yourself from that distraction and focusing on something that's more stable, like the objective truth. And so you're looking around, but you know that we're waiting for the redemption. It's going to happen. So it's like all this turmoil that's happening is just leading up to that. It is written. It is written. We know our history. We know that our history is true because we can trust this lineage, okay? And we know that this time is come to an end. And we know that the nation of Israel is going to be redeemed. And the second lie that you don't want to accept is that the state of Israel is here to save us. They didn't save the Jews on October 7th, okay? It's been 7 months, and just today, okay, so 7 months war, where we've had very, very high casualties also of our soldiers, okay? 7 months. In 7 months, we weren't able to even just stop the rockets from coming in. Today, rockets are falling on Ashkelon and Ashdod. And today, Jews are being injured and killed in those cities, okay? So it's been 7 months. What have we achieved? Are we not did we not save ourselves from every other war? Did we not? It's even an army, per se. I mean, think about it, okay? Let's just understand, okay? And now, knowing that fact about October 7th and putting it together with the fact that the state of Israel is one of the 19 centers of the West's fourth industrial revolution, okay? If you weren't scared to accept the reality of what that means, ask yourself, what does that mean? Okay? And since we're supposed to take an example from our previous history, okay? We have to understand that by celebrating the fact that there is a foreign power in the land of Israel, okay, and celebrating the fact that the nation of Israel has not yet been redeemed, and celebrating that every single year it's an abomination, is what that is. It's such a, how do you call it? Like it's such a, it's such a slap in the face to God, such a slap in the face to all of the generations before us that suffered so much just to make sure that the Jews remained separate, the Jews remained holy, the Jews remained loyal to God. Think about all of our history, what they've gone through, just for you now, okay, to prefer something else, for you to legitimize some other belief, for you to allow that to be in the land of Israel when we are here in the land of Israel, to allow avodah zarah, the worship of other things, including the worship of the state of Israel, and make a whole new religion called Zionist Religious Party. And also Hasidiyut, to now really believe that you need someone else between you and God. You can't just connect to yourself to God like we're commanded to. Now you need someone else. That's Christianity. Okay, they do it with JC. Some people follow that. We don't need anyone between us and God. Okay, so that's a big lie. And there's a lot of many other lies that people aren't willing to accept. And the question is, when? Until when? Okay, how bad does anti-Semitism have to get before you accept it? How bad does the situation of this never-ending war have to get? How, like, what are you waiting to see? Like, when will be the point where you're just willing to keep a Shabbat, to keep one Shabbat, to start keeping kosher, to start reading the Torah, to start listening to some rabbis, to start going to some classes, you don't even have to go to classes. Start just learning online and wake up. And that's what it means to wake up. It means to wake up. You are sleeping. You are a little bit brainwashed over here. Okay, it's not all your fault. Our fault. Okay? But God only lets it really go 3 generations. We can see that from before the Holocaust, okay? Because it was only about 150 to 200 years before that Judaism broke down, and there was ever such a thing as a Reformed Jew. And there was assimilation on the scale and on the, whatever that it was, especially in Germany. Okay, so you need to learn your history from reliable sources. Our lineage. Okay? because you should not be celebrating. And I hope that no one will celebrate the state of Israel. And I know it seems like I was saying, that you have to pick one, like, because they're saying Palestine, whatever those idiots are saying, does not mean that you need to counter that, because that is a lie, obviously and clearly. Okay, you don't have to counter that lie with another lie, which is the state of Israel, or chas v'shalom, those disgusting yellow Moshiach flags. Like, give me a break, okay? That's JC, and that's part of their doctrine, that the Rebbe is coming back, okay? And he's not coming back. So don't get distracted by lies. There are infinity number of lies, okay? They call it truths. So they say that everyone has their own truth. So there's many truths. But what they're saying is truth is actually a lie. Okay, they're just calling it the truth when it's actually a lie. Because the truth, there's only one truth. Okay, and that's the objective truth. And it's written in the Torah. Okay, and that's why it never changes. There's one truth and there are many lies. Is this a solid? There's one truth. The truth is that, yes, this is a solid. Okay, but there's many lies. It's neither a solid nor a liquid. It's both a solid and a liquid. It's sometimes a solid and sometimes a liquid, and even sometimes a gas. And sometimes it's all three, but we just can't figure it out. And sometimes it's a solid, but it's dressed as a liquid. Okay, and that's legitimate. Like, so there's many, many lies. There is one truth. And that goes for everything. So accept the fact. Okay, accept it, start accepting reality, and understand that we're not supposed to be celebrating, like I said, just because they're saying a lie, okay, with the Palestinian stuff, okay, which is based in truth. All lie is based in truth. So, I mean, suddenly they care. Suddenly the world cares. I mean, like, literally the whole point of having the Palestinians is for this moment in time. Okay, because this is like a big chess match. They have a plan, which is Agenda 2030, okay? And they've had this plan for many, many generations, and they've been working towards it. They're all in it together. They're all in it together. And they're playing the long game, and they have the overall picture, okay? Because they're guiding it towards this. So are things connected? Is, one thing just a necessary evolution towards this, slowly? Yes it is. Okay, so the whole point of having the Palestinians was so for one day, when the Jews are all spread out, and when the Jews are so far away from the Torah, to all of us, and when the Jews are confirming the fact that the state of Israel is their God and Savior, that the IDF will protect them and never again. We don't have to now worry. We're in the land of Israel. It is the only Jewish country. It's the only place for the Jews to go. And if there's another Holocaust, and we'll all go to Israel, and we'll all be safe because we have the most we're just the best, and we're so smart, and we're the startup nation, and never again. But what happened on October 7th? What are you going to do now? Okay? So we're not going to celebrate them, okay? And by the way, and no need to respond to the Palestinian situation and the fake protests and this fake outrage and the fake I give a damn about other people, okay? Because really, no need. Instead, focus on what will actually do something. Okay, so during, right now, after Passover, until Shavuot, okay, which is like our wedding date with God, okay? It's like he married us, and we're cheating on him with the state of Israel. Disgusting. And it's like you now have like the most amazing husband, gorgeous, rich, caring, loving, whatever, like, could never get better than that. And we're cheating on him with some scumbag, the state of Israel. Okay? And it's just like, it's so disrespectful, and like, obviously we're crazy. Obviously, we're not coming to our senses. Like, everyone can see it. And we're just like, and so I'm saying, like, this, so there's 2 weddings in our year. One is Simchat Torah. Okay? And it's very interesting, and I'm not going to explain the spiritual reasons that I understand that this happens. Okay? But it's very beautiful, and it has to do with the fact that Yaakov Avinu, our forefather, who became Israel, had 2 wives. He had Leah and he had Rachel. Okay? So the thing is that there are 2 weddings, okay? So there were 2 weddings. Yaakov married Leah, and then Yaakov married Rachel, okay? And we know a lot about Leah's wedding to Yaakov, okay? So Simchat Torah is like one wedding that we have with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the God, okay? What did I say? Simchat Torah. Simchat Torah. And the other wedding that we have is on Shavuot. Okay? So different times where we celebrate having the Torah, we celebrate really getting the Torah, and they're like 2 weddings. Okay? But instead of going to this wedding, some people on Simchat Torah on October 7th went to some other party. Right? They went to Nova party. I'm just saying this how I'm understanding it, okay? They didn't come to the wedding. Okay? They went out with the scumbag instead, and you know, there was anger against that because it also leads other people astray. It also makes it look like our husband is never coming home. So we might as well. Okay, we're not going to be loyal anymore. Okay, so just explain this way I'm understanding it. The second chance of a wedding is in Shavuot. Okay, so instead of now, okay, celebrating something else earlier, which would be the Independence Day of the State of Israel, which, as we know, is one of the 19 centers for the WEF, okay, it's part of the New World Order. And we know other people that are part of the New World Order. We just had a chance in COVID to see, like, the WHO in action. And since then, we've become more awake to the WEF. And their whole plan, like I said, it's been centuries. So before Agenda 2030 was Agenda 2030, it was Agenda 2020. Okay, but something went wrong. But no worries. They have backup plans upon backup plans. What they can't plan for, Jew, is for you to wake up and stop giving your energy and your attention, which is fueling this reality, which is bad, and it's bad for the Jews. Instead, keep Shabbat, keep kosher, start learning Torah, start learning your history. Do not celebrate this fake wedding with the state of Israel. Sit it out, okay? Because just because they're saying Palestine doesn't mean you have to say Zionist Israel. That's not the choices, okay? The choice, then the more natural and the more obvious choice is God, and is the Torah, and is the nation of Israel, with the land of Israel, with the kingdom of David, with the 3rd temple, which we all know about. We all know that this is the goal, and we're not making it real. We're not accepting that truth into our reality and into our brains and into our lives, because it's very, very abstract. We've been very assimilated, okay? Our minds are actually not our own. We can see that now with everything that's coming out about medicine, about science, about many other things, and many other things will continue to come out as the truth becomes more revealed. Okay, until the ultimate truth is revealed, which is God is real, the Torah is real, the nation of Israel is going to be redeemed, and it's going to happen pretty much like how it happened the first time it happened when we came out of Egypt, which we just learned in Passover. Okay, except it's going to be forever, and it's going to be much more grandiose than that was.